You've seen Aurebesh, even if you didn't realize it. Those strange glyph-like letters covering control panels, starships, and cantina walls, they're not random designs. They're the written language of the entire Star Wars galaxy. In this transmission, I'm breaking down exactly what Aurebesh is, where it came from, how it evolved, and how you can learn to read and write it yourself. And before we're done, I'll even show you a free app every Star Wars fan will love. One that lets you translate, learn, and even play your way through the writing that binds the galaxy together. Aurebesh is not exactly a language, it's an alphabet. It's the written form of Galactic Basic, the most common language in the Star Wars galaxy. This universal writing system was standardized in approximately 17,000 BBY. It originated in the Tython system before the settlements there shared it with the Rakkadan's Infinite Empire. Having a standardized writing system helped the various species with unique languages, dialects, and abilities communicate. Without being too grandiose, I hope, it helped pave the way for future galaxy-wide civilizations. Because of the wide adoption, this universal language has survived countless wars, turmoil, regime changes, and intellectual eras throughout the Star Wars continuity. The large, blocky geometric style of the characters makes it easy to stencil or engrave, making it perfect for shipping, stamping, starship registries, and navigational charts. You can think of it as a limited but far more successful form of Earth's Esperanto, a constructed language meant to be universal among all people. Esperanto could be spoken where Aurebesh can't, but it's a fun connection to think about. Another quick aside about languages in the Star Wars universe. You'll notice letters like X and Y don't look like the Latin alphabets X and Y. Ships like the X-Wing and Y-Wing received their designations from the High Galactic alphabet. High Galactic actually predates Aurebesh and was created by the melding of a couple different civilizations, the Alsakans and the Taiwanese. A census was taken in the days leading up to the Clone Wars where about 1/3 of the Galactic Basic-speaking members of the galaxy still used High Galactic. It had staying power as it was very common in naming ships, droids, weapons, and other technology. It has a digital print version where the characters were separated, and the fancier longhand form is like cursive on Earth, where curves and loops link the characters. High Galactic is often paired with Aurebesh in advertising, company logos, and public spaces. In the initial releases of the original trilogy, Aurebesh-like characters can be seen on computer screens and throughout some other aspects of the lived-in Star Wars universe. Creators like Joe Johnston and Annie Shapiro threw them in to better fill out the universe, but they were never intended to be read. They don't mean anything. It wasn't until 1994 that Stephen Crane at West End Games standardizes the glyph alphabet in the Star Wars Miniatures Battles Companion book. He called it Aurebesh after the first two characters, Uruk and Besh. Lucasfilm approved the alphabet and clearly liked the idea as it was integrated into future official Star Wars projects and even retroactively fit into the original trilogy, starting with the 2004 DVD releases. Aurebesh is almost a one-to-one replacement for our 26-character Latin alphabet, the exceptions being ligatures. If you're getting value or entertainment out of any of my transmissions, it would mean a lot if you would join the Remnant and subscribe. Are commonly paired letters that each have their own character when used individually, but when they are used together, they're portrayed in a unique character. CH, AE, EO, KH, NG, OO, SH, and TH all fall into this category. There are also characters for the most common punctuation. Stephen Crane never made unique characters for numbers. Most of the Aurebesh numbering you'll find online looks more like a stylized font and doesn't require special knowledge or translating to understand. There is a less popular alternative, not directly related to Aurebesh, that represents numbers in a series of dots and lines stacked next to each other. This version also first appeared in a West End Games role-playing sourcebook called Platt's Starport Guide, which defined this numbering system as Current Transponder Code Profile. I've also seen this system used in Star Wars droid-style fonts that fans have made. This system has since appeared in the West End Games publications, Star Wars Game Master Screen Revised, and the sourcebook on stock ships. Various numbering systems like this one or stylized Aurebesh ones have shown up in Star Wars Rebels, The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, The Last Jedi, Solo: A Star Wars Story, and even some more recent visual dictionaries. Given the near one-to-one translation style of the language and the fact that you don't have to worry about speaking it, this is very possible to learn. Even easier since when you start learning it and you get a handful of characters down, The words will start to reveal themselves quickly as your brain is able to fill in the blanks. There are some tried and true old school methods to learn Aurebesh like anything else. You can pull up a chart and just write each character a dozen times in longhand. It's a boring process, but the muscle memory will help it stick into your brain. Flashcards are tried and true. Make one for each of the 26 characters and one for each of the 8 ligatures, and go for it. When you're starting to get comfortable translating, do your name, common phrases like "May the Force be with you," even do your grocery list. While you can do all of these things by hand and carry around a stack of note cards and an Aurebesh key, I have a much easier way that should also be a lot more fun. Over the last year, I personally created a custom Aurebesh translator app. Even better, the app is totally free. You can use it entirely online at aurebesh.imperialremnant.com or download it to whatever device you have, whether it's iOS or Android, any tab or phone. It should work on basically anything, and once you download it, it also works offline. The app allows you to type in English and get Aurebesh back. You can switch the keyboard from the Latin alphabet to the Aurebesh alphabet and type in Aurebesh to get the English translation back. You can save favorite phrases, copy, paste, and it even tracks your own history. Don't worry, all the tracking and everything is kept local to your machine. I see none of anyone's data. Not that there'd be anything crucial in an Aurebesh thing, but I wanted to make sure that everything was kept separate. Not only that, but there's a couple built-in games with more on the way to make your learning more fun. Right now, there's a 3-tier flashcard game starting at the individual characters and progressing through simple phrases. There's also a word search that really helps you focus on the characters themselves and recognize patterns. I built in some customizable themes: Rebel Alliance, Galactic Empire, Light Side, Dark Side, and Bounty Hunter, so you can customize the look of the app any way you want. I don't know if I need to say this disclaimer part here, but this is a fan-made app for entertainment purposes. This is not an official Star Wars product, and I'm not affiliated or sponsored by Lucasfilm, Disney, or really anybody. As I said, the app is totally free, something that I wanted to do for the fandom. If you decide to use it, I'd love to hear what you think about it, and let me know anything you'd like to see added to it, as I plan on adding to it every, I'd say, 3 to 6 months, depending on how many people are getting into it. In the settings of the app, there is a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page if you feel compelled to say thanks with a couple bucks. I would appreciate it. A lot of time went into it. I am paying minimal hosting costs to keep it up on a server for everybody, but do not feel compelled to. That is completely your choice. I hope you learned a little bit about Aurebesh. I hope you enjoy the app. Click on this video next to dive back into more traditional Star Wars lore.